all up on me. Hey, good day, everybody. This is the Paul Romero here with this. What are we on here? Uh, the Network Marketing Insider number 216 on this negotiation new op day number 116, January 25th, 2016. I'm sorry, guys. This is going to be kind of interesting today. So anyway, hey, here we are. I'm hanging out in Phoenix on this beautiful, early to me, new op day morning. And just I want to say welcome to everybody because did you know that if you take out all the time that you spend sleeping, which I could have used a little more of that, and all the time you spend commuting, and all the time you spend working, and all the time you spend running around doing all those things that you have to do, that by the end of the day that you probably only have like an hour or two for yourself to do the things that you like to do. And even if you had more time, would you have the money to do the things you like to do? And here's the question: do you even know what the hell you even like to do anymore? We have a way for you to own your life. Figure out what the heck it is that you like to do again by owning a home-based business that is so simple that anybody can do it. And the best part is it doesn't involve any selling and doesn't take up very much of your time either, which you don't have any anyway. So you need something that doesn't take up very much of your time. So anyway, like I said, I'm hanging out here from Phoenix, Arizona. Let us know where you're hanging out from on this wonderful morning here that I should still be sleeping. And John Leister, my upline, is here with us incognito. John, where are you hanging out from?
Good day, everybody. I'm hanging out from Phoenix, Arizona. Glad to be on here on New Op Day where we talk about negotiations and whatnot. And I just want to point out a little something about the 45-second presentation that Paul just opens up each and one of these hangouts with, and that is, why network marketing is a business. It's because it's a simple system really that anyone can do. That doesn't mean that it's easy to do it. You actually have to work in network marketing, but you know what? It's a hell of a lot of fun. You could be out to the wee hours of the morning partying and have time to do that and the money to do that. And network marketing is one of the many vehicles that would give you the opportunity to do that. And, while you're out there networking or hanging out with your friends or at a bar on a Sunday watching a football game, the whole point of network marketing or networking in general is that you should actually be networking wherever you go. There's always you never know who you're going to meet when you're out there. You could take the opportunity to network, dropping your kids off to school in the morning with the teacher's aide when you drop the students off, when you drop your kids off to school, and talk to them about network marketing in a tactful sort of way. The only reason I bring that up is because everywhere I seem to go lately, I end up in a conversation kind of, what do you do? Everybody always asks me, what do you do? And I love telling people what I do. And it's as easy as that, just sharing. Teaching, training, sharing, and that's what the system is, and that's what we do on New Op Days is we discuss the Own Your Life Plan book, which I have right here in my hand, which is the system and kind of puts this whole thing into perspective on just how simple of a concept network marketing is. And if you're willing to do a little bit of work, how you can build, using the proper system, an organization that'll provide you a passive income for years to come. So that's what we're all about. That's what we're here doing this morning. And welcome to the Hangout, everybody.
All right. Well, I'm glad that, John, you threw that up there because, and I hope you've read the chapter and you're ready to go, because I certainly am not, because you know where I was last night and I didn't get anything that I intended to get done last night, which one of the things was to reread this chapter again and be prepared for this Hangout. And I just am not. So you know what? My Freedom Friday sort of carried over into a little bit of Freedom New Op Day. But you know what? That's perfectly fine, because guess what? I have the freedom to do so. Do you? Or are you at work right now? Or are you getting ready for work? Hey, it's 8 o'clock in the morning here, Phoenix time. You know what? It's 7 a.m. California or Pacific time. It's already 9 a.m. in the, what would that be, the Central Time Zone, and it's already 10 a.m. in the East Coast. So you're either already at work, you're just getting up out of bed, or you're getting ready to go to work, or you're arriving at work right now, and we're not. Well, I said we're sitting here in our living room. So anyway, that's one of the reasons why you want to look into this stuff, why you want to be thinking about this. So what we do here on New Update, like John said, is we look at this Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence. Oh, wait a minute. No, we don't look at this.
Paul is a laugh riot today. But you know what, Paul?
Own your life. Own your life,
it.
all right? We look at how to own your life, because when you're working for somebody else, guess who owns your life? You don't. They do, all right? So, gosh, shoot. Only the ones who, oh, okay, cool. All right, so we're on chapter 5 of this book right here. We've gone through the first 4 chapters, which are like the real outline, and just enough where that's what we want to give our people who are interested in network marketing, that want to get started in something, who do want to change their lives, that we entice them to look at and read the first 4 chapters of this book right here. And we have completed those, and now we're moving on. And this is where it's very interesting as you go through this book. These next what is it? I forget how many chapters there are in here, but every one of these next chapters is going to sort of throw you back into the first 4. Something in there is going to throw you all the way back into the first 4 chapters. That's why they're so important. And they're only 38 pages for the first 4 chapters. So if you want to try to get somebody interested in network marketing, and you ask them to go read the first 4 chapters of this book, we're only talking about 48 or 38 pages with a lot of illustrations. So you're probably only really reading about probably 28 pages, if that. So that's where we're at. We're in chapter 5, and we're now into the chapter that is called Napkin Presentation number 4. And that's what this book is all about, is little presentations that you could be sitting down at a restaurant. Generally, the hour that Don likes to use is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because the restaurant's not that busy, because the lunch rush is over and the dinner rush hasn't started. So the restaurant isn't that busy. And B, because you know what, if anybody that's interested in this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they pretty much generally have to be at work. So if you can get them to pull away from work for an hour at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you've got somebody that's pretty serious. So with that, chapter 5, napkin presentation number 4 is called Digging Down to Bedrock. And since I wasn't totally prepared for this, I'm going to throw it back to John and hope he was. So take it, John, see what you can give us.
One great thing about network marketing, Paul, as you know, that there's no such thing as cheating. So even though you're not prepared for this, you've read the book before. And let me ask you this question. Do you have a copy of this book in front of you? Then you are just as prepared as I am to give this presentation. So congratulations, because 80% of success is what? Just showing up, and you showed up like a warrior, which means you're 100% successful, as our mentor Jeff Fagan would say. Anyways, this chapter 5, Digging Down to Bedrock, napkin presentation number 4. You know what? I like this chapter, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold up the book, the little illustration in the book for you to take a look at, so we can kind of visualize this. You see this little guy, he's standing in the back, and then this little group of people out ahead of him. And then you see this guy here, he's on fire. He's really flying. He's way ahead of the whole crowd. Well, this is kind of a sketch, if you will, a kind of about getting started in network marketing. Because right now you're just getting involved. This is you right here. You're the guy behind the crowd, and the guy that's not out ahead of the crowd just yet. But the system actually, the way this system works, and this chapter actually kind of breaks it down, is that it won't take you very long to be the guy that's just getting started, that's a little bit behind the crowd, to race out in front and surpass what other people are doing. And this whole chapter is about overcoming that feeling of discouragement. And you know what? I'm going to go just read the first paragraph of the chapter just to kind of set the tone for what this is all about. Discouragement is one of the problems that can beset a new distributor that you have sponsored if you fail to impress upon them the importance of getting a head start. That is why we stress that they do not start counting their months in the business until they have had their training or their training period of whatever length of time they need. And when you first get into network marketing organization, they may have a tendency without a head start to look up at the leaders way out in front and become discouraged and think that they will never be able to catch up. So again, this is you right here. You're looking at all these people in front of you. The important thing is at first not to get discouraged. You know what? You don't start counting the months that you're in network marketing until you've completed your training. So that's what the first 4 chapters of this book is. So we've already completed training, right? We already now we have a head start because now we kind of have a little bit of information we need to go and get out there and begin in the business. Know a little bit about what network marketing is and what it isn't from chapter 1. We know the power of the numbers and of the power of building down the downline through chapter 2 and 3, or network napkin presentations 1 and 2. And the 4th napkin presentation, all right, we get in, we get started, we use the products, we begin sharing, and we're going to get our 5 gold chips. And that is basically the education portion. We really haven't even gotten started yet. So don't get discouraged about what you do and do not know yet about the business. We know enough, we're getting started, but we're still in our training phase. So hold on one second. Who's there?
Hey, that's very interesting. You know, I never really looked at it that way, but you're right. This is just like the first part is just like the training area, the training period of this, and that we really haven't gotten started yet. But now that we do know all the information that we need to know in here, we know what to do, we know what not to do, and we know what we have to do, right? So actually, I never really looked at it that way, John, but you're right. This chapter 5, digging down to bedrock, this is all about actually the first thing that we have to do. And that's, well, not the first thing, but the second thing. The first thing is to get in. Okay, so that's what we've already done. We've got in, we've chosen our network marketing organization. We've paid the tuition, so to speak, because generally there's going to be a small cost of entry, which that's one of the beautiful things about network marketing is that it is a small cost of entry. And now we need to get started. So like I said, I never really realized that the way that you put that we just got finished with the initial training, and now we're actually, going in and getting this thing going. And so, like I said, we're here going to, step 2 of what you have to do, and that is, right after getting in, what you got to do, you got to get started, and that's what this digging down to bedrock is all about. So that was pretty cool that you put it that way, John.
Right. So that's it. So and it's about overcoming the fear and overcoming being discouraged about the business, and looking at your upline and the people that are way out in front and the leaders as, you know what, they're already got the head start. They've got the education. They're running forward. So, we're in that education phase. So we haven't really even gotten started yet. And just to move this chapter forward, there's 2 things that you need to be doing during your training period as a new distributor. And that's 1, distributing the first chapters of this book. You know what? Share the first 4 chapters with people. Tell people what network marketing really is about. Share it or distribute. Literally, there's a link to the website, ownyourlifeplan.com, you can give to people so that they can go research and read the chapters on their own. So that's your first thing, is just distributing this information however you see fit. Whether it's handing somebody a copy of the book, sending a link online, or just having a general conversation about these concepts and showing the napkin presentations. One Number 2 is begin inviting people to see the business, attend presentations conducted by someone else, someone in your upline, come on hangouts like this and just hear this information over and over again and study the book and continue reading forward. And then whatever organization you're in, you begin learning about the business, including, and most importantly, in my opinion, the products and the compensation plan. And I say, to me, that's the most important things, is because, one, do you believe in the product or service 100%? Are you convinced that have you sold yourself on the value that it provides? And 2, are you convinced that the compensation for providing the value to people is worth your time? Do you feel the plan is going to compensate you in a way that you feel good about? So that's part of it. So those are the 2 things you need to do during your training period. So let's go on in the chapters. And you know what? I love this line right here in the next section of the book, which is the next napkin presentation. But highlighted here in big bold letters is the phrase, "The only losers are the quitters." And that is very important to remember, that yes, we're all racing towards the finish line, quote unquote. The finish line's different for everybody, right? Everybody has a different why. Everybody has a different goal. Everybody has a different end game in mind. But we're all racing to get to that finish line. And you know what? We might be in last place right now in our training phase, but we're as much of a winner as the guy who's out here in front making 10,000, 15, 20,000 plus a month in this business.
What's cool about what you were just saying there is you might be in last place on that picture right now, but it makes no freaking difference what place you're in that picture right now. The only thing that matters in this is that you actually do cross the finish line. It doesn't matter. This is not this race. And in this race, whereas your marathon race, only the person who crosses the finish line first gets a nice medal and is the winner here. But in the network marketing race to the finish line, the only person every person who crosses the finish line gets a champion's medal and gets what they're here to get. So it doesn't matter where you are in the line right now when you sign up. The only thing that matters is when you cross the finish line, because when you cross the finish line, that's when you get what you want.
Exactly. And again, it says the idea here is the only losers in network marketing are the ones that quit, the ones that don't go through. So you know what? We only got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to just kind of get into the next little paragraph here.
I want to drop back and say something here that's very important to this, John, is that when you do get into this network marketing thing, you really have to be committed to yourself to sort of, quote, go back to school, okay? You've got to commit yourself to learning what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and you've really got to give yourself a commitment of like 6 months, okay? You can't just come into this and go, well, I'll give it a try for a month and see how it goes. That ain't gonna fly. You ain't gonna get shit. That's never gonna take you anywhere, and you're gonna be out before you're in. You've got to commit to this realistically. You got to give yourself a 6-month commitment. If you don't give yourself a 6-month commitment, then, like I said, you may as well not do any commitment at all. It's not worth your time. Because as we talked about in these previous chapters here, it's going to really take you about 6 months to get the understanding of this information, process it in your own mind to whatever point, whatever level that you need to have enough knowledge, because that's one of the drawbacks for everybody, is how much information do I have to have before I can go out there and tell other people about this. And everybody's got a different level of that. Some people can just run right out knowing absolutely nothing, and some people really need to know a lot more of the ins and outs and the details of what your product and service is and how that works and how the business works and all of those things. So wherever your level is, somewhere in between there, obviously you're going to need, you need to get yourself to that level. So that's going to take a little bit of time. That might take a month in itself right there, just to get yourself to the understanding of being able to open your mouth to the very first person. So you got to be able to give yourself 6 months in this thing to give it a real solid try. John, go ahead, finish up, take us home.
O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth through the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire.
Wow. Okay, there you go, folks. That's the end. This is our show. Glad you were here. If you're getting into network marketing, like we talked about, read this book, read these chapters, get through here, understand that you know, the first 4 chapters, while you're learning all that stuff, you're learning. You're in school. You're just getting yourself geared up and ready to go. And now here we are in chapter 5. You know, you've gotten in. Now we're getting started. And we'll see you back here on beautiful website Wisdom Wednesday, and we'll talk about I don't know what we'll talk about. We'll see you then.